How I am War Chief Tikka Masala, and I will tell you a great a tale of misery for all the people of the world. Many eons ago, white man created game Empire Total War. This game had many bugs. Then, as the time passed, the bugs became more and more frequent. Then, white man decided it was smart to, instead of fix bugs, gave it to natives. And we, because we do not know what a computer is, turned game into a pile of crap. There, you heard of yourself there, folks. Even the Indians think the game's crap. Okay, so this is not a new game you're looking at here. This is actually the new background for Empire Total War. You'll be forgiven for thinking that this is a new game. The new patch has decided to turn the background into a giant advertisement for their DLC. Not only have they got a background which has the Indians going around chanting with Medieval 2 music. Yes, they couldn't even create new music, they've just used Medieval 2. And then they have a big giant advertisement in the bottom saying, "Buy me now, buy me now, buy me now." So yeah, it's not the most subtle advertisement I think I've ever seen. It's so in your face, actually. It's actually not made me want to get the thing at all. I'm just determined never to get this ever. I just wonder what will happen. In the next patch, will they change the background to another advertisement for Napoleon Total War or something? Anyway, this is my campaign vid, but the new patch is out, so there are a lot of new things to experiment with. They've created some new bugs, which I'll be talking about later on, and they've added new loading music, new text for when people drop in multiplayer. There's still no sound in the replays. Well, basically new music for the loading screen, a new actual loading screen, new text, coloured text. That's the three things I always wanted changing. Anyway, enough rambling. I know you want to see my campaign vid, so I'll get straight on it. Okay, so apologies for my little rant at the beginning. Had to be said though. 1.4 is out. Everyone knows who plays Empire, and with it comes the usual supply of bugs and problems. Okay, so this is turn 8 of my Austrian campaign. I'll just describe what's happened. I did all this before the game was patched. I moved on from taking Munich. Everything I did between the last bit and now was done pre-patch. So I'm going to try and see if there are any differences between now and later on in the campaign, thanks to this miracle patch. If you want to call it that. It's quite clearly not a miracle patch. Okay, so for the third time in a row I've had to deal with a rebellious scumbag army at Rumelia. This time I didn't have any cav, and I think like 2 men escaped to carry on the rebellion. See that? 12 men. 12 men have gone and carried on a rebellion. 12 men out of 160. Why would they want to carry a rebellion on? They should just disband and go away. That hasn't been fixed then. I have an influx of cash, because what I was going to do, I was going to repair the high porte there with 5,000 gold, but because I can see that the mob is still angry, what's going to happen is I'm going to repair it, then 2 turns in, it's going to be destroyed again by another revolt, so there's no need for it to be repaired. So there's no point at the moment, so I'm keeping that cash for something to do. Okay, so I'm going to show you something else, which is slightly useful. Look at your capital city. Doesn't matter what campaign you're playing, what faction you're playing in the campaign. Look at your capital city, then go to Building Browser. Now you can see that the Opera House here, if you click on it, now can you see the faction tree there, the building tree? Now if you build an opera house, then a grand opera house, then a great museum, you get access to the Albertina Museum, which is a special thing that the Austrians can build. Now this is only a choice if you actually click on the opera house, and instead of going to the Royal Observatory. Other factions have a bigger observatory, like the British have an observatory at Greenwich or something like that. So always look at that to see if there are any special faction buildings which you can build, and the only way you can build them is by going a certain way. So I'm going to build a opera house here to get that special thing. Okay, at my college, I have finished researching whatever I was researching. I can't remember. I got a lot of economic things going on. So I've got quite a bit of cash. I'm getting about 7,000 a turn now, which is quite nice. I've decided to research ring bayonet to stop using plug bayonets, because plug bayonets are getting on my nerves. Because every time I get charged in melee, I then want to shoot someone, but I can't because there's a flipping bayonet stuck in the nozzle. With a plug bayonet, if anyone doesn't know, I'm assuming some people don't know, with a plug bayonet you plug into the end, hence its name, and you can't get it out. It's a genius invention, really. Plug something in so big and tight that you can't actually get out of the barrel again. Bodge job. Okay, so what's happened? I did say I was going to take Venice, but something bizarre happened. Pre-patch, I got to stress this, the Poles, who lost their capital at Warsaw, lost virtually their whole army attacking the Prussians. You can see that everything in blue on the mini-map is the Prussian territory. They then decided to attack me with, let's have a look at their main army. It's truly terrifying. A militia, run! So there's 2 militia planning on attacking me, is there? That's just makes me laugh, to be honest. So yeah, this is pre-patch AI stupidness. I wonder if it's changed. Probably hasn't. So they've declared war on me. I don't know what they hope to do with that tiny army. So what I've done, instead of marching south to Venice, is I'm going to be sneaky, and I'm going to take out their protectorate at Saxony. The protectorate did not come into the war with me when Poland declared war, but I don't care. Any opportunity to attack anyone nearby, and I'll take it. Because I had no reason to attack Venice other than the fact that I had to take it to win the campaign. But this, with Poland attacking me, I now have an excuse to attack Saxony. Now, due to my lack of cash, I actually could not be able to replenish my men. So the losses I sustained taking Munich are still in place with my army. So I'm going to take a risk and try and take Saxony with my, half-strength army. Just give you an overview of what I'm up against. You can see it's a lot of cav. Again, that poses no problem to me, so long as the AI does its usual stupid stuff. I've already done a battle to see if it stops forming squares, but they still do that, so that's still amusing. Don't know why they didn't fix that. I mean, it's just stupid. They got cannons. I'm not worried about them. They're fixed. But their main army is made up of militia, and firelock armed citizenry. So basically, the only problem I'm going to face, perhaps their free line, and perhaps their free Regiforce if the AI uses them properly. Okay, so I'll show you the battle once I take on the battle map when I'm up against Saxony. Okay, so let's take out these Saxon dogs. What we're going to do is I'm going to set up a defense again. I can't attack head on because of half my men are at half strength. So what I'm going to do, lure them in with my cannons, who I'm firing at the ground directly in front of the enemy. So any skipping shots will hit the enemy and provoke them to attack me. They won't kill any of them because cannonballs won't kill anyone outside the fire arc. But what they will do is, if they hit one of these artillery pieces, is knock it out. Okay, now I've set up a double line. The front line is in a sort of a semi-bottleneck at the moment. The back line is my half-strength units, and then I got grenadiers in reserve. I expect the enemy cav to flank me like it's doing over here. My advisor has told me to run off immediately because he thinks we're doomed. It's always a good advisor. Always inspires morale in the men by telling us all to run away. I'll just pause the game temporarily while I'm chatting to you. Okay, so let's have a look at the enemy's positions. Now this is the perfect spot for a cannon, wouldn't you say? Yeah, it's gonna if it fires, it's gonna fire straight into the building. So yeah, that's a brilliant place to plonk that cannon there. Okay, I imagine the AI will just flank me with single cav forces round my rear and try and take my general out, hence my second line. Once it gets in range of my front line, I'll form a bottleneck round it, and then fire a canister shot, pull my artillery crew back, because I imagine they'll probably melee me, pull my second line in, then grenade them from the flanks like I did in the other battle. Okay, so let's get on with it. I'll start recording again when something interesting happens. Okay, so that plan didn't work. The AI is now just camping on the hill shooting at me, so I'm going to have to attack him, which wasn't exactly part of my original plan. Okay, he sent one cav at me, and I swung one of my cav round and attacked that cannon that was not doing anything. I don't think their army really missed them because they didn't even try to help them. But as you can see, Ugh, they just send one unit at me at a time. It's this textbook, you know. They haven't changed it. Here we go. Right,